here for a second. So welcome to our first presentation of the Bacchae. I am thrilled to be your host, and I just want to give a little bit of information before we get started with the play. The Bacchae is an ancient Greek tragedy. It was written by the Athenian playwright Euripides during his final years. It premiered posthumously at the Theater of Dionysus in 405 BC, and later it won its first prize in the City Dionysia Festival competition. Today we are doing this play in honor of Dionysia and in honor of the great god Dionysus. Today is the second time it has been done for Hellenicherald, but it is the first time it's being done in this amazing Minecraft server, in this amazing temple that was built by actually one of our costume designers, Nathan, who's actually in the play, and you'll meet all of our cast in a minute. And although there are no prizes won today, the prize that we get is the prize of honoring our gods. I do want to give a small summary before we get started and a little bit of a trigger warning. The Bacchae is an ancient Greek tragedy that was written by the Athenian playwright Euripides during his final years. It premiered posthumously in the Theater of Dionysus in 405 BC and later won its first prize in the City of Dionysia Festival competition. Today is the second time it's being done for Hellenicherald or on our platforms, but it is the first time it's being done in our Minecraft server, and perhaps even in Minecraft at all. I'm not sure, but I think that's a pretty good bet. It's also the first time it's being done in this amazing temple you all are seeing here that was made by our costume designer Nathan. And although there are no prizes won today, the prize you receive is honoring our gods. Now I'm going to get to the summary and a little bit of a trigger warning here. The Bacchae is a tragedy based on the Greek myth of King Pentheus of Thebes and his mother Agave, and their punishment by the god Dionysus, who is also Pentheus' cousin. The god Dionysus appears at the beginning of the play and proclaims that he has arrived in Thebes to avenge the slander which has been repeated by his aunts that he is not the son of Zeus. In response, he intends to induce Family Feud, exactly. In response, he intends to induce Dionysian rites into the city, and he intends to demonstrate to the king, Pentheus, and to Thebes that he is indeed born a god. At the end of the play, Pentheus is torn apart by the women of Thebes, and his mother, Agave, bears his head on a pike to her father, Cadmus. So there is some trigger warnings here of violence, death, cannibalism, although as we are playing in Minecraft, there will be no real blood or gore shown. The Bacchae is considered not only one of Euripides' greatest tragedies, but also one of the greatest ever written, modern or ancient. Before we get started, as this month is our month to honor Hephaestus, and we are doing this play in honor of Dionysus, I did want to read some short hymns for them for a second. So if everyone can just take a minute to just kind of get themselves ready for honoring Hephaestus and Dionysus. We call to Hephaestus, ingenious son of Hera, father of fair-tressed maidens and bold-hearted heroes. On the Isle of Lemnos, where you stood your fiery forge, a land beloved by you above all others, were you well honored. By those who work in bronze and smith, hot iron were you lauded throughout the land. Mighty Hephaestus, master of all craft and art, builder of palaces, maker of keen-edged swords and impenetrable armor, creator of all manner of finely worked trinkets and baubles. Beauty falls from your hands, Hephaestus, as artistry falls to those who you favor. God of skills, we call and honor you. We call to Dionysus, great god of the vine, son of thundering Zeus and strong Semele, loving husband to warm-hearted Ariadne. Dionysus, deep-hearted one who knows the souls of men and women, whose hand is ever open, ever within reach. Dionysus, God who runs in the dark, who sees with eyes shut tight, who dances to the heart's strong beat. Ever are you yourself, ever constant, ever changing God of those who are trapped, those who seek truth in their own, those who seek vision beyond seeing, those who seek wisdom beyond knowledge, those who seek the self, pure and sweet, those who seek clarity beyond definition, who seek the embrace of the uncertain to hold but loosely to what is true beyond trust. In our actions, we praise you, we honor you, and we hope that you, great God Dionysus, enjoy this display. And I hope that you, as the audience, enjoys the presentation of the Bacchae. Bacchae.
I have arrived. I am Dionysus, son of Zeus, come to Thebes where my mother gave me birth, in a firestorm. Struck by lightning, her name was Semele. Father Cadmus had founded this city. I have changed from divine to human form, and here I am. There, the Ismenus River. The other one is called Dirce. Over here by the house is the marker for my mother's grave, where she was struck by thunder. Ruins of her home are still smoking from the living flame of Zeus. That is how angry Hera was at my mother, violent, deathless rage. Now Cadmus, he's done well to keep this ground off limits sacred to his daughter. The vines that cover it, however, these are mine. I set them around, made them copious and green. My journey, I began from Lydia. The sand is rich in gold, then passed through Phrygia. Then the sun-struck plains of Persia saw Bactria's walled towns face the rigors of Media, so came to rich Arabia. Then across Asia, where the fine-towered cities lie across the salt sea, teeming with Greeks and other peoples mixed. I came here, my first Greek city, only after I had started initiations there, and set those places dancing so that mortals would see me clearly as divine. Now Thebes is my choice to be the first place I have filled with cries of ecstasy, clothed with fawn skin, Euripides in hand, this ivy-covered spear, because my mother's sisters, of all people, they should have known better, said Dionysus was no son of Zeus. They said Semele was seduced by some man or other, and put the blame on Zeus, as Cadmus cunningly advised her mistake in bed, and Zeus killed her. He yawped everywhere, because she pretended to be his wife. That is why I stung these women into madness, goaded them outdoors, made them live in the mountains, struck out of their wits, forced to wear my cult's panoply. All the females, all the women of Thebes, I sent them crazy from their homes. Even the king's daughters are running wild with them under fir trees or seated on rocks in the open. This city must fully learn its lesson, like it or not, since it is not initiated in my religion. Besides, I must defend my mother, Semele, and make people see I am a god, born by her to Zeus. Now Cadmus has given his rights as king to Pentheus, son of his daughter Agave, and Pentheus wages war on the gods through me. He loves me away from libations, pays no attention to me and his prayers. For that, I'll show him I am truly God. I'll show the Thebans too. And once I've put this place in order, I'll turn to another country, reveal myself there. But if Thebes acts in anger, sends military force to drive my Bacchae on the mountain, I'll lead my Maenads like an army into battle. It's to do this that I have taken human form and changed myself into a man. Now come, my sacred band of women, that came with me from a bulwark of Lydia, fathomless companions in my journey from abroad. Take up the drums, my native drums of Phrygia. Ones I discovered, I and Mother Rhea surround this royal home of Pentheus, and strike, make the city of Cadmus take notice. Meanwhile, I'll join the Bacchae on the slopes of Mount Cahaeron, and take my part in their dances.
Out of Asia, from the sacred mountain, I hasten my sweet labor for the thunder. I strain my voice, but it's no strain, shouting praise of Bacchus. You on the road! You on the road! You in the houses! Come out! Let everyone keep holy silence now, for I shall sing the age-old hymn to Dionysus. Oh, blessed are they who in their happiness God's initiations live life in holiness, minds tuned to festival, dancing on mountaintops, sacred cleansing in honor of Bacchus. They celebrate the rites also of the mother, great Cybele, and they shake aloft their thyrsus, over heads and wreathed in ivy, serving Dionysus. Run, Bacchae! Run, Bacchae! Bring the god, the son of a god, thunder Dionysus down from the mountains of Phrygia, down to Greece, to broad avenues. Bromius. Born suddenly in labor, pangs brought on by force, Zeus's thunderbolt took wing, struck him out the womb. His mother lost her life in the flash of lightning. For a womb, Zeus took him straight into the cavern of his thigh, and sewed him up secretly with golden fasteners, to hide him from Hera. He was born when, as the fates said, his time came. A god with his bull's horns and crowned with a snake crown. That is why, in their wild hair, the Maenads weave predatory serpents. O Thebes, Semele's motherland, may you be crowned in ivy, and may you run green with creeping vines, run fruitful in grain, join the Bacchae, celebrate with bough of oak and fir, wear dappled fawn skins, garland with locks of white, lamb's wool, and round your rebel stalks weave holiness. Make haste, let all the land dance, for now the thunder leads our revels. To mountain! To mountain! There waits a throng of women born, now stung to leave their work at loom and shuttle, stung by Dionysus. O caverns of the band of youths, sacred chambers that gave birth to Zeus on Crete, where Corybants, thrice crested in the craves, invented this taut cowhide drum, gave it the beat of a swift Bacchic dance, below flutes sweet wailing. This was their gift to the mother, Perea, the drumbeat of Bacchic praise. Then satyrs in ecstasy brought it from the goddess mother and set it to the dances we celebrate in each third year, a joy to Dionysus. He gives delight on mountains when from the festive throng he runs, clothed in sacred fawnskin, falls earthward, hunts goat-kill blood, raw flesh-eating joy, yearning for mountains in Phrygia, Lydia, with Bromius in the lead. Vohe! Vohe! It flows milk! The ground flows wine. It flows the nectar of bees. As smoke streams from incense of Syria, Bacchus waves his flaming torch aloft. He darts. He runs. He dances. He puts them on fire if they stray. Shouting, he rouses them, his long hair softly tossing to the sky, and adds to their sweet cries his thundering call. Run, Bacchae! Run, Bacchae! Rich from the gold flow of Ptolemus, sing praise to Dionysus over thundering drums and cry Vohe to the glory of the god with shouts and Phrygian war cries. When the ebony flute, melodious and sacred, plays the holy song and thunderously incites the rush of women to mountain then, in delight, like a colt with its mother at pasture, she frolics, a light-hooded Bacchant.
Where is the gatekeeper? Call Cadmus, come out. Agenar's son, who left his home in Sidon and ringed his city of Thebes with towers. Hurry up, someone tell him. Tiresias wants him. He'll know why I'm here. We made an agreement, he and I, to tie Ephesus. And though I'm old and he is older, to wear fawn skins and read our heads in fresh ivy.
Here you are, dear friend. I recognize your voice from inside the house. Such a wide voice. A wise man's voice. And I'm ready. Look, I have my costume for the god, and as well as I might, considering he's my daughter's son, whom they've now discovered is a god, Dionysus. We should build him up as best as we can. Where should we go to dance? Where should we plant our feet and toss our head, gray as they are? Be my guide in religion, Tiresias, the old leading the old, since you are so wise. I hope I never of rattling my thyris on the ground night and day. Isn't it delightful to forget how old we are?
I feel just the same as you. I'm growing young, my feet want to dance.
Shall we go to the mountain by chariot?
No, that is no way to give honor to the god.
Then let me guide you as you walk, as old as I am.
Don't worry, the god will lead us there, both of us.
Are we the only men in Thebes who will dance for Bacchus?
The only ones in our right minds, the rest are mad.
Come, we're wasting time. Take my hand.
Of course, and you take mine, we'll be a team.
I'm not one to look down on the gods. I'm human.
We don't try to be clever with gods. Our traditions, which are old as time itself, came from our forefathers. No sophistic arguments will throw them down. Not from the best brains of all.
Wow. Won't folks say that I ought to be ashamed taking up dancing now that I'm so old, putting ivy on my head?
The god won't care who's young, who's old. We all must dance because he wants honor from all of us together. He'll not exclude anyone who gives to him the glory he desires.
Tiresias, I know you cannot see the shining light, so let me be your prophet and put into words for you. Here is Pentheus coming home in a hurry. Icon's son, I made him king. My goodness, he is in a flutter. Strange, what do you think he'll say?
I happened to hear when I was out of town. They're troubled in the city. A revolution. These women of ours have left their homes and run away to the dark mountains, pretending to be Bacchant. It's this brand new god, Dionysus, whoever that is. They're dancing for him. They gather in throngs around full bowls of wine. Then one by one they sneak away to lonely places where they sleep with men. Priestesses, as they call themselves. Maenads. It's Aphrodite they put first, not Bacchus. Those I've captured are chained by the hand, and they are under guard in public jail. As for the one who got away, I'll hunt them down out of the mountains, even my aunt and my mother Agave, and Actaeon's mother as well. I'll catch them all in iron cages. I'll put a stop right now to this dirty business, this Bachism. Also, there's a foreigner come to town, a wizard with magic spells from Lydia, who has long blonde curls, perfumed, upon his head, and the bloom of wine, the grace of Aphrodite on his cheeks. Day and night he plays around with young girls, showing off his bohème mysteries. Just let me get him in this house. I'll stop him rattling his thyrsus and shaking his hair once I have his head cut from his shoulders. And he's the one who says Dionysus is a god, that he was sewn up in the thigh of Zeus, when actually he was burned to ashes by lightning, along with his mother because she lied when she named Zeus as her lover. That's a hanging offense, isn't it? One insult after another. I don't care who he is. What's this? Another marvel? Or expert reader of omens in fancy phone skins? Is that you, Tiresias? And my very own grandfather? What a laugh. Playing backhand with a Tirsus? Shame on you, old man. You both should have some sense at your age. Why don't you shake that ivy off and let the Tirsus go out of your hand, grandfather? Tiresias, you walked him into this. You just want to make a profit bringing in this new divinity. so you can check out more bird omens and run more sacrifices. If your gray hair hadn't stopped me, you'd be sitting in chains, surrounded by Bacchic women for. Because when women get their sparkle at the feast from wine, I say the entire ritual is corrupt.
Silage! No respect for gods? For Cadmus? Who planted the crop of earth-born men? You're Ekion's son. You'll disgrace your own family.
When a prudent speaker takes up a noble cause, he'll have no great trouble to speak well. You, on the other hand, have a tongue that runs on smoothly and sounds intelligent, but what it says is brainless. True, boldness can help a man speak powerfully, but he'll turn out bad for the city because he'll have no sense. This new divinity, the object of your ridicule, has more greatness in his future here in Greece than I can say. Young man, there are first principles in human life. The goddess Demeter, or Earth, you may use what you like, who nourishes us by means of the dry element. And the second one balances her exactly. That's Semele's child, who discovered in the wet element a drink from grapes, a drink he delivered to us. This brings relief from pain for long-suffering mortals when they are filled with the vineyard's bounty. It grants sleep, lets them forget the evils of the day. And there is no other cure for trouble. We pour him out as libation to the gods, God that he is, so that what good we have by way of him. Now, do you think it's silly he was sown in the fire of Zeus? I'll explain to you how fine this really was when Zeus plucked him from the lightning fire and raised the newborn to Olympus as a god. Hera wanted to throw him down from heaven, but Zeus contrived a defense worthy of a god. He broke off a piece from the sky that circles the earth and made a surrogate to give Hera as a hostage. So that was how he saved the real Dionysus from Hera's violent rage. After a while, people began to say he had been sown in fire. They put sown in fire for showing sky, because they heard that Zeus fooled Hera by showing sky to her. Let me add, this god gives prophecy or foresight. Whatever is Bacchic or maddened by his force has foresight aplenty. When the god enters people in force, he maddens them and makes them tell the future. Also, he has his share of the war god's power too. Sometimes an army is in full gear, standing in order, and they're struck by a panic before a weapon is touched. That madness comes from Dionysus too. Besides, you will come to see him on the crags of Delphi with his torches, leaping on twin-peaked mountain shoulders, waving and shaking his Bacchic wand. You'll see he's great everywhere in Greece. Now, Pentheus, take my advice. Do not brag about your power in controlling men, and do whatever your judgment should be. If it's ailing, do not judge that it is sound. Accept his god into your land, pour him libation, join his Bacchic dance, put wreath on head. It is not Dionysus who will force virtue on women in matters of sex. You must look for this in their natures. Even in a Bacchic revel, a woman who is really virtuous will not be corrupted. Look, you are delighted when the people crowd your palace gates, and the city resounds with the name of Pentheus. In my opinion, it is the same with Dionysus. He too is pleased by being honored. I, therefore, along with Cadmus, sneer at him, if you will, are wreathing our heads in ivy for the dance. We are grey-haired, the pair of us, but we still must dance. I'll make no war on gods. I do not accept your argument. I am sorry to say it, but you are mad, totally mad, and no drug could help you, even though you're as sick as if you had been drugged.
Old man, Apollo is not insulted by your claims. You are being sensible when you honor Dionysus, great god that he is.
Tiresias' advice is excellent, my boy. Stay home with us. Don't cross the threshold of law. You are fitting about, so thoughtless the way you think. Suppose you're right, the fellow's not a god. Well, let him have the title anyway, as far as you care. Tell a lie. It's a good cause. You'll make Semele famous, mother of a god, and her whole family reaps the glory. Look what happened to Actaeon, your cousin. He died horribly. His own dogs, who he had reared himself to eat raw meat, tore him apart into pieces. And all because he bragged he was a better hunter in the mountains than Artemis. Don't let that happen to you. Here, put this ivy on. Join us. Let us honor the gods.
Keep your hands off me. Go ahead and be a Bacchant, but don't you wipe that foolishness off on me. This teacher here infected you with silliness. I will punish him. Send someone right away to where he has his seat of divination. Pry it up, turn it upside down, use levers, and make a mess of the whole place. Take his sacred head wrappings and toss them out. Leave them to the wind and rain. I can't hurt him any worse than that. You others, sweep the city. Track down that foreigner, the one who looks like a girl. He carried this new disease to our women, put his filth in our bedrooms. If you catch him, bring him here in chains so he can pay the penalty, death by stoning, and learn what a serious crime it is to play Bacchus in Thebes.
Abomination! You haven't the faintest idea what you are saying. You've become a complete lunatic. This is no temporary madness. Let's be on our way, Cadmus. We must win over the god with our prayers. For this man's sake, violent as he is, and for the city's too. Otherwise, the god may take a terrible revenge. Come with me on your ivy-covered staff. Try to keep me upright, and I'll do the same for you. It will be a shameful sight for two old men to fall. Still, we have to go. Bow down to Bacchus as the son of Zeus. Pentheus' name means grief. I hope he brings no grief upon your family. This is not fortune-telling. I'm looking at facts. He who speaks foolishness is a fool.
Oh, reverence, Queen of Gods, reverence, who over earth spread golden wing. Have you heard Pentheus? Have you heard the outrage? Insult to Thunder, son of Semele? He is first of all the blessed powers for joy at festivals, where heads are wreathed. His domain is sacred dances, laughter by flute song, relaxation of care. Whenever grapes shine on feasting of gods, or when at ivy-wreathed festivals sleep steals round men from the wine bowl. Mouths that run unchecked, lawless and senseless, end in disaster, but a life lived in peace with good sense holds family together, stays unshaken. Far away, the sky-dwellers' heavenly powers may be, but they are watching us. Wisdom? It's not wise to lift our thoughts too high. We are human. Our time is short. A man who aims at greatness will not live to own what he has now. That, I believe, is the life of men whose judgment is foul. They are insane. Oh, let me be in Cyprus, Aphrodite's land, where Cupids dwell and cast their spells upon our minds, and where the river of 100 mouths makes ringless Paphos fruitful, with water from afar. Or there, on the sacred slope of Mount Olympus, lovely Pieria, home of the Muses. Take me there, Thunder, leading spirit of the joyful cry, to the land of the Graces, the land of yearning, the land where Bacchic revels are the law. Divine son of Zeus, he rejoices in feasting. He loves peace, the bliss giver, cherisher of young men, goddess. To rich and poor alike, he grants delight of wine without pain. And he hates the man who does not try each day, each forlonged night, to live a flawless life, and wisely steers away, in heart and mind, from men who stand out above others. What is ordinary, what the crowd thinks right, that good enough for me.
Pentheus, we are here. Mission accomplished. We have hunted down this wild thing you sent for, but we found the beast was gentle, made no attempt to escape, willingly held out its hands, did not turn pale or lose its blush of wine. Instead, he laughed and had us take him prisoner. He waited and made my task an easy one. I was ashamed. I said, "This isn't my idea, stranger. Pentheus sent me under orders to capture you." Now, about these Bacchae women you're arrested, chained and locked up in the public jail, they're free. They escaped to the mountains. They're dancing around up there calling on the god. The chains simply fell off their feet, all by themselves, and the doors? No human hand touched them, but they were unlocked. So many miracles this man has brought to Thebes. Well, the rest is your concern.
You may release his hands. He's in my net. He won't escape me now, no matter how quick he is. Well, not bad. You're actually quite good looking. I mean, to women. Of course, that's why you came to Thebes. These long hairs of yours, you're no Westerner, are you? These curls along your cheek, oh, they'll swoon for you. And this fine complexion, you had to work on that. Staying out of the sun, in the shadows, hunting, with your pretty face for sex, Aphrodite's business. So tell me this first. Where are you from?
Right away, sir. It's a simple story. No doubt you've heard of Mount Femlis, where flowers grow.
I have. Run around the city of Sardis and circles it.
That's where I'm from. India is my country.
What was your reason for bringing this cult religion to Greece?
Dionysus made me initiate himself, and he is the son of Zeus.
What do you have there? Some Zeus who spawns new gods?
No, it was here he joined with Semelia in marriage.
Did he take you by force in a dream, or did you see him?
Face to face, and he personally taught me the rituals.
Tell me about these rituals. What do they like?
They may not be revealed to those who are not Bacchants.
What's the good of these rituals to people who celebrate them?
Hearing that is forbidden you, but knowing it would be of value.
What a neat quibble. Now I really want to hear.
Keep up that irreverence, and the dance will turn hostile.
Now, you say you saw the god clearly. What did he look like?
Whatever way he wanted, I had no control of that.
Another clever diversion. You didn't say a thing.
Speak wisdom to a fool, and he'll think you have no sense at all.
Are we the first to whom you've brought this divinity of yours?
Outside Greece, everyone is already dancing for him.
That's because foreigners have so little sense compared to us.
In this case, more, much more. We just have different customs.
You practice this cult by night or by day?
Mostly at night. Darkness lends solemnity.
Darkness is just a filthy trap for women.
Some people can dig up dirt in daytime too.
You'll have to be punished for this wicked cleverness.
And you for stupidity, for irreverence to the god.
Tough talk for a Bacchant. You get a lot of exercise with words.
What penalty do you propose? What horrible thing will you do to me?
Let's start by shearing off your pretty goldy locks.
That's sacred! I grow my hair in honor to the god!
Next, hand over your Tursus.
Take it away yourself. The one I carry belongs to Dionysus.
And we'll lock you up and keep you under guard.
God himself will set me free, whenever I want.
Sure he will. Whenever you stand among your Bacchae and summon him.
Even now he's very near, and he sees what I am suffering.
Then where is he? He hasn't revealed himself to me.
He is where I am. You not see him because you lack reverence.
Grab him, he has insulted me. And Thebes.
I proclaim, do not tie me. Believe me, I am sane and you are crazy.
But I say, tie him up. Believe me, I have you in my power.
How do you live? What are you doing? Who are you? You don't know.
I am Pentheus, son of Agave. My father was Echion.
Fortune becomes you with a name like that.
Get out! Lock him up over there, in the horse stalls. Let him stare at gloom and darkness. There's a place for you to dance. These women you brought, they're as guilty as you. We'll sell them as slaves, or I'll keep them myself, make them work at the looms. Either way, I will stop that dime noise.
I am prepared to go, mind you. What cannot happen, not injure me. But you, Dionysus will punish you for these insults. And you say he does not exist. You abuse us, you are trying to put him in chains.
Fair maiden Driva Bacchae, queen of waters, daughter of Achilleus, you who bathed the infant child of God, when Zeus the father pulled him from undying father into his thigh, did you not hear the cry of Zeus? Go, Christ-born Dithrymbus, into my male womb. I now reveal you with your Bacchic name to Thebes. But now, blessed Dirce, you cast me out when I bring your reefs and feasting to your shore. Why do you reject me? Why do you run from me? A time will come, I swear, by all the joy that you may squeeze from Dionysus's grate. A time when you will pay attention to the thunder. What anger, oh what anger, shows now from this earth-born spawn of a serpent. Pentheus begot by Echion the earth-born, a wild-eyed monster without a human face, who like a deadly giant wrestles with the gods. Soon he will have me in his snares, although I belong to the thunder. Already he has my comrade in the sacred dance imprisoned at home, hidden in darkness. Do you see this, son of Zeus? Dionysus? Those who speak for you are bound by force. Come down from Olympus, waving your gold-faced wand, and put down the insults of this deadly man. Where are you now, Dionysus, waving your thyrsus? Where on Nysa are you leading the dance on the mountain that feeds wild things? Where? On the Carissian peaks? Perhaps at rest on Mount Olympus? In the wooded glades where Orpheus once upon a time struck movement into trees, and wild beasts too followed the music of his cithara. You are the blessed place, Pieria. You are honored by the god of joyful cries. He comes to set you dancing in his worship. He will cross swift-flowing rivers with his Maenads, whirling in their dance. The river Axion and Lydius, father of waters, who gives happiness and wealth to men from the most beautiful flow of water I've heard, for it fattens the land with fine horses.
Oh, hear my call, hear me! Yo Bacchae, yo Bacchae!
What's this? Oh, what? Where did it come from, this roar of the joy god summoning me?
Yo, I call again, son of Semele, son of Zeus.
Yo, master! Master, come to our sacred dance! Thunder! Thunder!
Scene of commotion shakes the earth's foundations.
Oh, now the house of Pentheus will rattle down in ruins. Dionysus rises in the house! Worship him! We worship, oh yes, do you see? The stone cross pieces are sliding off the columns. The thunder, he's raising back it cries within the roofs.
Like lightning bolt brightly, burn the house of Pentheus, burn it to ashes.
Ah, fire, do you see how dazzling it is? By the tomb of Semele, where she, in former days, left the flame of Zeus thunderstruck? Fall to the ground, you trembling Maenads. Fall, for the Lord comes. He will cast this house down to the dust. He is son of Zeus.
Frightened foreigners you women are, down on the ground as if you had been struck. Don't you see it was Bacchus who shook the house apart? Rise up, take courage, leave off trembling.
It's you, our great light in dancing to Bacchus. How glad I am to see you. I was desolate, alone.
Did you lose hope when I was sent inside? Did you think I was trapped in Pentheus's dark jail?
What else could I think? Who would protect me if you were lost? But how did you get free from that unholy man?
I saved myself. It was easy, no trouble.
But I thought he tied your hands with knots of rope.
There I made a fool of him. Thought he'd tied me up, but he never laid a hand on me. He only fed himself on hope. In the stable where he planned to jail me, he came upon a bull. It was this he bound up hoof and leg. He was panting fiercely as he tied the knots, biting his lips, sweat streaming down his body. I was very near. I sat peacefully and watched. That was when Bacchus came. He took down the house and raised the flames over his mother's tomb. When the king caught sight of that, he thought his house was on fire, ran up and down and told his slaves to bring water from the river. What a waste of time! Then he let that job go because he thought I had escaped. So he grabbed his black sword and ran indoors. Now the Thunderer, this is only how he appeared to me, I think he formed an image of me in the courtyard for Pentheus to attack. He rushed up, slicing the clean air, trying to cut me down. Still Bacchus added outrage to outrage against him, shook the house down to the ground, totally ruined. Pentheus could see what a painful mistake he had made, putting me in jail. He's exhausted now, leans back and drops his sword, this man who dared do battle with a god. He left the house peacefully. He joined you here. Pentheus is nothing to me. Now I hear his footsteps. He'll be here any minute. What will he say this time? Well, never mind. Even if he blows up a storm, he will not bother me. Wise man trains his temper to be good and calm.
I've been tricked. It's horrible. That foreigner got away. The one I overpowered a few minutes ago and put in chains. Aha! There's the man. What's this? What are you doing in this forecourt of my house? How did you get out?
Relax. Let peace lie firm beneath your anger.
How did you break prison and get outside?
Didn't you hear me? I told you someone set me free.
Who? You keep saying the strange new things.
He who grows the clustering grapes for humankind. That good deed for which you held Dionysus to blame.
Lock the gates! That's an order! Close off the city all around?
What's the point? A god can leap over the walls.
What a wise ass you are! Cunning, except where it counts.
Where it counts the most. I was born cunning. Wait. Better listen to this man first. Pay attention. He's bringing you news from the mountain. We'll wait. Trust us. We will not run away.
Pentheus, ruler of Thebes, I'm here from Mount Kithaeron, where white snow glistens, never failing.
What's so important about the news you bring?
I saw the Bacchae and their sacred power, white thighs shooting like arrows from the land. I'm here because I have to tell you, and the city, sir, what awe-inspiring things they do, beyond fantasy. But first, I'd like to know whether you'll give me complete freedom to report what I saw there. Or must I watch my tongue? I'm afraid of your quick temper, sir. So hot, so like a king, but too much.
Say anything. You'll be safe, as far as I'm concerned. It's wrong to lash out at law-abiding citizens. Before every hour you tell me about the Bacchae, I'll add to the sentence of punishment we'll give this person for laying his clever schemes on women.
Our herds of cattle climbed into the mountain meadow just as the sun began to warm the earth. And there I saw them, 3 troops of women dancers, one led by Autono, the second by your mother Agave, the third by Ino. They were all asleep, totally relaxed, some leaning back on pine boughs, others laid their heads on oak leaves on the ground. They had let themselves go, in a sensible way. Not as you said, sir, intoxicated by wine and flute, not running off by themselves in the woods for sex. Your mother leapt to her feet, wide awake, with a shout of ecstasy, Bacchae all around her. She'd heard the longhorns mooing. The others shook cozy sleep out of their eyes and sprang upright in close drill. An amazing sight. Young and old, unmarried girls too. First, they let their hair down to their shoulders, and those who had loosened their fawn-skin garments hitched them up and belted the spotted skinsy with snakes that licked their cheeks. Some of them cradled young gazelles or wolf cubs and gave white milk for them to suck. These were ones who had just given birth, and their breasts were swollen, their babies left behind. All crowned themselves with ivy, oak, and flowering vines. One took her thyrsus, struck a rock, and water leapt out, pure as dew. Another set her staff in solid ground, and the god sent her a fountain of wine. If anyone was thirsty for a drink of milk, she scrabbled her sharp fingers in the earth, and it came, spurting white. Sweet streams of honey, too, came dripping from the ivy-covered wands. And all in all, if you'd been there and seen those things, you'd come praying to the god whom you condemned. Then we got together, cowherds and shepherds, shared our stories, words clashing, told each other the awe-inspiring things they did. One man spoke up, a drifter who'd practiced the art of words in town. Hey, all of you who live up here on the sacred mountain, wouldn't you like to hunt down Agave, yank Pythias' mother out of her Bacchic dances, and earn some favors from the king? We thought he'd spoken well, and so we laid an ambush, hiding in the bushes. And they, at the appointed time, spun into a Bacchic dance, shaking the thyrsus and crying Ichus to the thunderborn child of Zeus, all with one mouth, and the entire mountain danced for Bacchus, wild beasts too, all racing into motion. By chance, Agave's leaping brought her next to me, and I sprang out. I meant to capture her, and I gave up the ambush where we were hiding. She raised a shout, "Oh, you running dogs of mine! These men are hunting us! Now follow me, follow! A thyrsus is a weapon in your hands." So we were the ones who ran away, to escape being torn apart by Bacchae. And they attacked our livestock as they were grazing on new grass. No sharp weapons, but you have seen one woman tear apart a young cow with her bare hands. It was bellowing. Its udder was swollen with milk. Others ripped grown cows to pieces. You'd see ribs and feet hurled every which way, hooves flying, pieces hanging in the pine trees, smeared with blood and dripping. Bulls in all their pride stumbled headlong. They once had rage tossing on their long horns. Now more hands than you can count pull them down, young girls' hands, and strip off the flesh that covered them, faster than a king could wink one eye. Then they took off like a flock of birds and raced to the fields below, along the river Isopus, where Thebes grows bumper crops of grain. Two villages, Hysiae and Erythria, are settled there beneath the heights of Mount Kithaeron, and the Bacchae fell on them like enemies on a rampage, tore the towns to shreds, stole children from the houses, put booty on their shoulders, and even though they did not tie it down, nothing fell to the dark earth. Not bronze, not iron, and the fire they carried in their hair never singed a curl. The village men were in a rage at being plundered by the Bacchae. They grabbed weapons and then, sir, it was a terrible thing to see. The men could not draw blood with their javelins, but the women hurled the thrices and injured them so badly they turned tail and ran. Women over men. Only a god could make that happen. Then they returned to where they had begun their dance, to the springs the god had opened for them, and washed off the blood, while the snakes licked every drop clean from the snake of their cheeks. This god, your majesty, whoever he is, you'd better accept him for our city. He has great power in other ways. But above all, I've heard it said that he's the one who gives us wine to ease our pain. If you take wine away, love will die, and every other source of human joy will follow.
I'm nervous about speaking freely to a king, but even so, I have to say it. No god is greater than Dionysus.
This outrageous behavior of the Bacchae is catching on like wildfire already. Will be the laughingstock of Greece. No time for delay. You, go to the south gate. Call up your heavy infantry in their armor, or cavalry, fleet-footed, and all light troops, bearing small shields, the men of singing bowstrings. Tell them all. We will make the war upon the Bacchae. This is worse than anything. But the source of so much trouble to us is women.
You hear what I say, Pentheus, but you do not take it to heart. Even though you've treated me badly, I tell you it's wrong to take up arms against a god. Keep the peace. Dionysus will not stand for it if you drive the Bacchae on mountains filled with cries of joy.
Don't you lecture me. You just got out of your chains. You don't like being free? Should I restore your penalty?
Sooner than I'd suffer a pang of anger if I were mortal and he a god, I'd offer a sacrifice when he goads me.
I'll make an offering from the blood of women. They deserve to die for raucous disturbances on Mount Kithaeron.
You will run away, all of you. You have tough bronze shields, but you'll be routed by the Bacchic Theseus. What a disgrace!
It's impossible to wrestle this foreigner to the ground. Jail him or let him go. He keeps on talking.
There's still a way to make this come out well.
Really? You want me to give in on to my own women, my slaves?
I'll bring the women here, no weapons.
The hell you will. It's another trick you've invented against me.
Not at all. My only wish is to use my skill to save you.
It's a plot. You've promised the Bacchae to keep up the dance forever.
Yes, I have promised, as you say, but to the god.
Bring me my weapons, and you, shut your mouth.
Wait. Would you like to see the women gathered on the mountain?
Of course. I'd give a pot of money for that.
Really? Isn't this great passion of yours rather sudden?
Well, it would hurt me to see them if they're drunk, but...
Still, while you hated it, you'd enjoy the spectacle.
Yes, of course. And I'd be quiet and sit under a pine tree.
I'll track you down, no matter how sneaky you are.
Okay, I'll stay in the open. You give good advice.
Will I be leading you then? Will you undertake this journey?
Yes, don't waste a minute. Lead on.
First, let's fit you out. Cover your hide with a linen dress.
What? Change rank from man to woman?
They'll kill you if they see you as a man.
Good point, as before. You've been pretty cunning all along.
We owe it to Dionysus. He's our inspiration.
Good strategy. Now, how do we implement it?
Step inside your house and I'll fit you out.
How? As a woman? That's disgusting.
Changed your mind? Don't you want a view of the Maenads?
As for my outfit, what did you propose to cover me with?
Start with your head. I'll give you a wig of long hair.
And what next? Another decoration?
Dress, full length. A headband around your hair.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Thyrsus for your hand. A spotted fawn skin.
No, I couldn't put on a woman's outfit.
But you'll cause bloodshed if you attack the Bacchae directly.
Right. Then I should go first to observe the situation.
That's cunning. Otherwise, you'd use trouble as bait for trouble.
But how can I sneak through the city without being seen?
We'll use empty streets. I'll be in front.
Most important, I don't want the Bacchae laughing at me. Let's go inside. I'll make a decision.
As you wish. My plan works either way.
I will set out, either marching under arms or in the manner you advised.
That man, he's on the edge of the net. His death will give justice. He comes to the Bacchae. Dionysus, the work is yours to do. I know you're very near. Pay him back. First, drive him out of his wits. Fill him with the skittish frenzy. He'll never want to take on a woman's dress in the right mind. But if he marches right outside his senses, he will get dressed. I have a longing to see him jeered in Thebes. He's led through a city, looking like a woman. In return for those threats he made trying to be formidable, now I'm off to get the fine clothes I will fit to Pentheus, his trip to Hades when his mother kills him. Then he will know the son of Zeus, Dionysus, and realize that he was born a god, bringing terrors for initiation into the people, gentle grace.
To dance the long night, shall I ever set my white foot so to worship Bacchus? Toss my neck to the dewy skies as a young fawn frisks in green delight of pasture. She has run away now from a fearful hunt, away from watchful eyes, above tight-woven nets while the dog-leader cheers the running of his hounds. She strains, she races, whirls and prances on meadows by river, delighting in the absence of men, under shadow trellises and the tender shoots of the wildwood. What is wise, what is the finest gift the gods can give to mortals? A hand on the heads of their enemies pushing down? No. What is fine is loved always. Never hurried, never failing, a god's fist comes down on men who love to be hard-hearted, who hold back what is good and due to gods in the madness of bad judgment. Ingenious how the gods keep time's long foot a secret, while hunting down irreverent men. No one should ever be above the law, neither in action nor thought. The cost of these beliefs is light. Power lies. With whatever thing should be divine, with whatever law stands firm in time, by nature ever natural. What is wise? What is the finest gift the gods can give to mortals? A hand on the heads of their enemies pushing down? No. What is fine is love, always. Happy the man who has come away safe on the beach from a storm at sea. Happy the man who has risen above trouble and toil. Many are the ways one man may surpass another in wealth or power, and beyond each hope there beckons another hope without number. Hope may lead a man to wealth. Hope may pass away. But I admire a man when he is happy in ordinary life.
You who long to see what is forbidden, you who seek what must not be sought, you Pentheus, come out and let me see you here, before your house in a woman's gear, O Maenads, who spy against your mother and her troops. Aye, you look just like one of Cadmus's daughters.
Hey, I think I'm seeing two suns. I'm seeing double. Thebes, the seven-mouthed fortress, all double. And you're a bull, ahead of me in procession. I see new horns sprouted on your head. Were you ever a royal animal? You're being a bull now.
God is with us. He's not angry anymore. He has made peace with us, and now you see things as you should.
How do I look now? Is this the way Ino stands? Or my mother Agave?
When I see you, I think it's one of them. This little curl of yours is out of position. It's not where I set it under your headband.
I think I shook it up and down indoors, dancing like the Bacchae. That made it leave its post.
I'll put it back in order. That's my duty, to serve you. Hold your head straight.
Sure, you arrange it. I'm in your hands.
Your sash is loosed, your pleats are uneven, and your dress has slipped below your ankles.
I guess it has, but only on this side. Over here, my dress hangs right.
You'll surely think I am your closest friend when you see how modestly the Bacchae dress, more so than you'd expect.
Should I hold my thyrsus this way or in my right hand? I want to look like one of them.
Right hand, and lift it in the same time with your right foot. I'm delighted at your change of mind.
Will I be strong enough to lift Mount Kitaron to my shoulders, Bacchae and all?
Yes, if you wish. Your mental state used to be unhealthy. Now it is as it should be.
Should we bring crowbars? Or do I barehanded trust my arm or shoulders underneath the summit?
Mind you, you must not smash the nymph's temples, or the places where Pan loves to play his pipes.
That's right. A strong fist is not what conquers women. I'll hide myself in the fir trees.
Find the hiding place a man should have if he goes to trick the Maenads as a spy.
Yes, I can imagine them like birds in a thicket, held in a sweet tangle of text.
And that is why you're assigned guard duty. Perhaps you'll catch them, unless you're caught first.
Take me through the middle of Thebes. I am the only man in the city who dares to do this.
Only you. You bear the city's pain alone. And the contest you will face is meant for you. Follow me, I am your guide and your protection. Someone else will bring you back.
My mother?
Everyone will be impressed.
That's why I'm going.
You will be carried
You'll spoil me.
in your mother's arms.
You'll pamper me to pieces. You'll make me tender by force.
I will indeed.
I will have what I deserve.
You are wonderful and terrible. Wonders and terrors await you where you go. You will win glory, towering high as heaven. Now, Argave, stretch out your arms, and you too, her sisters, Cadmus's daughters. I am bringing the boy for a great contest, which I will win, I and Dionysus.
Run, swift hounds of madness, run to the mountain! Find where Cadmus's daughters hold their celebration. Sting them to fury at the man who parties in a woman's outfit and spies in madness on Maenads. His mother will be first. She'll see him on smooth rocks or in a tree lurking. She'll call the Maenads to her. Who is this? Who longs for us? The mountain runners of Cadmus. To mountain, he came! Oh, Bacchae, who could his mother have been? No woman's blood in him. He's a lion's whelp or cub of Gorgons from Libya. Now vengeance out in the open. Sword bearer, slice through his throat. He is godless, lawless and unjust. He is Echion's son, the Earthborn. His judgment wrong, his feelings turned against the law. He can't abide your worship, Bacchus, or your mother's. Intelligence gone mad, spirit stuck to arrogance. He appointed himself to suppress the unconquerable by violence. Death makes judgment sound, hears no excuses. You'll face the gods, remember your mortality, if you'd live a painless life. Worship you may have, wisdom you may have. I'd rather hunt for other virtue. Great ones, more plain, for a good life, live reverently, through night and day. If customs reach beyond justice, cast them out, and honor the gods. Now, vengeance, out in the open. Sword bearer, slice his throat. He is godless, lawless, and unjust. He is Echion's son, the Earthborn. Be seen as a bull, be many-headed. Be seen as a serpent or lion blazing fire. Bacchus, come with a laughing face. After the beast-catching man who hunts Bacchae, tangle him in your fatal net as he falls beneath a pack of Maenads.
Oh, this house, this family. All Greece thought it lucky once. That old man who came from Sidon sowed the earthborn crop from a serpent in the ground. How I grieve for you, and I'm only a slave.
What is it? What news from the Bacchae?
Pentheus is dead, the child of Echion.
Lord Bacchus, great god revealed!
What are you saying? What did you mean? Woman, you can't be happy over this calamity to my master.
I'm a foreigner. I sing a hymn of praise that's strange to you, because I am free at last from the fear of prison.
Do you think we are so unmanly here in Thebes that we will not punish you for this?
Dionysus holds me in his power, not Thebes.
I sympathize, but you women should not rejoice when evil has been done. It is not proper.
Tell me, I want to know exactly how he died. He was unjust. He was a fountain of injustice.
We left the outskirts of Thebes and crossed the Asopus River, then headed for the heights of Mount Kipharon. Pentheus and I was following my master. and the foreign stranger who was our guide on that observation patrol. First, we occupied a grassy hollow, maintaining silence, walking carefully, no talking, so that we could be seen without being seen. So that we could see without being seen. Between two cliffs, we spotted a ravine laced with trickling streams and shaded by pines. And there were the Maenads, sitting happily at work. Some were rewinding ivy tendrils around the furnaces that had come undone. Others, like colts set free from a decorated yoke, tossed back and forth the singing of a Bacchic hymn. Pentheus, poor man, could not see the whole crowd of women. Stranger, he said, from where we stand, my eyes can't reach as far as those phony Maenads. But if I climbed some tower of a fir tree on the high ground there, I could accurately observe the Maenads' shocking behavior. Then I saw the stranger do something amazing. He grabbed the fir tree by its topmost shoot in the sky and pulled it down, down, down the black earth, bent like a bow or like a rounded wheel. when the compass scribes the running arc. That's how he pulled down the mountain tree and bent it to the earth. No mere human could have done it. He seated Pentheus in the fir branches and let the trunk go straight, gently singing him up with his hands, careful not to shake him off. The tree towered straight up in the air with my master seated on its back, but he saw him better than he saw the Maenads. Just before he came into view, sitting on high, the stranger disappeared altogether, and out of the sky came a voice, it must have been Dionysus, shouting to rouse the young woman. I have brought him to you, girls, the one who ridiculed me and my worship. Now you must pay him back. And with this pronouncement came sacred fire linking heaven and earth. Then silence in the sky, and silently the wooded glen restrained its leaves. Wild creatures gave no cries. The woman did not know what sound they'd hear. They stood stock still and cast their eyes about. Again he gave the command. The Cadmus' daughters knew surely this was a command from Bacchus, and they ran with the speed of a dove. The Bacchae followed, darting down the ravine past ragged jocks and snowmen, past jagged rocks and snowmen torrents, while the god breathed madness into them. When they saw my master sitting in the fir tree, they started to throw sling stones up at him with great force. Some climbed a facing pinnacle or rock and hurled fir bows like javelins. Others made missiles of verses and let fly at Pentheus, a cruel volley, but it fell short. He was higher than the steel could reach up, there with his miserable steed caught with no defences. In the end, they struck at his tree roots with thunderbolts of oak branches, trying to pry them up. But those were no iron crowbars, and their efforts led nowhere. So Agave said, "Come on, stand in a circle, Maenads, and grab the trunk. Let's catch this tree-mounting beast, and keep him from telling the world the secret of our dances to the god." Thousands of hands took the fir tree and plucked it right out of the earth, and he fell, the ground plummeting from on high, his high perch wailing all the way down. That was when Pentheus learned he was near to disaster. His mother was the first at the killing. She was priestess, and she rushed to attack him. He tore off his headband in hopes that she would recognize him, not kill him. He reached out to her cheek, miserable Agaves, and said, "I am yours, mother, your child, Pentheus. You gave me birth in the house of Echion. Pity me, mother, I have made mistakes, but do not kill your own son because of them." She was foaming at the mouth, face twisted, eyes rolling, not thinking as she ought to think. She was possessed by Bacchus and did not believe him. Grabbing his left wrist with her hands, she braced her foot against his ribs. What a horrible fate for him! And tore off his shoulder, but not by brute strength. The god made it come off easily in her hands. On the other side, Ino was taking him apart, breaking off bits of meat. Atonoe and the mob of Bacchae all went after him then. They were screaming everywhere. He kept crying in pain as long as he had breath. They were howling in triumph. Off went one with a forearm, another took his foot with his hunting boot, and his ribs were stripped, flesh torn away. They all had blood on their hands. They tossed Pentheus' meat like balls in a game of catch. The body spread around, one piece by a rugged cliff, another deep in the woods under heavy foliage, impossible to find. His head, this is horrible. It turned out his mother took it in her hands. She's got it planted on the tip of her fierces, and she's carrying it straight down Kitaron. Thinks it's a mountain lion, I believe. Leaves her sisters to dance for Bacchus. She's gleeful about her hunting. Her luck was cruel that day. She's inside the walls now, shouting and praises Bacchus, my hunting partner, she calls him, who helped me run the dogs and catch my prey. Glorious victory, but all she has won is tears. I'm going now, before Agave reaches home. I won't be underfoot when there's a disaster. But this is the highest glory. Have sound mind and reverence for whatever belongs to the gods. This too is most wise of all pursuits a human being can follow.
Strike up the dance for Bacchus! Raise a cheer for the downfall of serpent spawn Pentheus, who fitted himself out as a woman, took a Thyrsus the staff that promises Hades and created after a bull, to his downfall, Bacchae of Cadmus. Your glory song turns to a dirge, your fame to tears, a fine contest, to end with blood streaming from a hand thrust against a child. Now I see her. She rushes home eagerly, Pentheus' mother Agave. Her eyes are rolling wildly. Welcome her as a band of Bacchic revelers.
Asia!
What are you shouting about?
We're bringing it home from the mountains. A fresh-cut curling shoot of the vine. Our hunting was blessed.
I see. Come, you are one of us.
I caught him with no ropes or snares. A lion's cub. He's young, can you see?
From a wild place? Where?
Kytheron.
Kytheron.
Slaughtered him.
In the first blow, whose was it?
Mine. It was my privilege. The sacred dancers call me Blessed Agave.
Who else?
Cadmus.
Cadmus?
His daughters. They got to the beast after I did, after me. Oh, we had such luck in our hunting. So, will you join me in the feast?
What feast? Join you? In misery?
Oh, he's young. The young bull just begins to grow curls down his cheek, and the hair on his head is so soft.
His hair, at least, would suit a beast from the countryside.
Bacchus, dog-driving hunter, was cunning. Cunningly he roused Maenads against this beast.
The Lord is a hunter.
You praise?
I praise.
Soon Cadmus' people.
And your son Pentheus.
He'll praise his mother for catching this big game, this lion's club.
Outstanding catch.
Outstanding hunt.
Do you rejoice?
I exult. It was magnificent, magnificent what the hunt achieved for all of us.
Then show it to the city people now, wretched woman. Show them your victory, the game you brought from the hunt.
Come all you who dwell in the fine walled city of Thebes. Come and look at the big game we daughters of Cadmus chased and caught. We didn't need to throw any strapped javelins or even nets. We used our own white arms, just the fingers on our hands. We have made spear throwing obsolete, put weapon makers out of business. With hands alone we caught this beast and tore it limb from limb. Where is my father, old man? I want him here. And Pentheus, my son, where is he? I want him to take a great strong ladder and lead it down the house so we can nail this to the beam heads, now that I've come with the head of a lion I hunted down.
This way. That horrible thing you carry is Pentheus. This way in front of your house. It took me endless trouble to find the body in the ravines of Kytheron and bring it here. All torn apart, no two pieces in the same. It was very hard to find them in the woods. I didn't hear from anyone what my daughters had done. The reckless maniacs. Till I was back in the city, after coming down from the Bacchic dance with old Tiresias. So I hurried back to the mountain, and here I am, bringing the boy who was killed by Maenads. I saw Otene up there. That was Acton's mother, and Ina too, still afflicted, raving in oak thickets, bitten with a frenzy. But Agave, someone said she danced her way down here, in Bacchic style, and it was true what I heard. I'm now looking at her, and what a miserable sight she is.
Father, no one can brag about his daughters more than you. We are the best daughters a man could have by far. All of us, but me especially. I gave up weaving, left my shuttle beside the loom, turned to more important work. Big game hunting, barehanded. And I brought you this with my own arms. Do you see? It's the hero trophy I captured, so that you could hang it on your house. Take it, Father. Put it on your hands. Show off my success at hunting to your friends. Announce at a banquet. You are blessed, blessed. We have achieved such things.
Grief beyond measure. I cannot take it in. Achieved? Wretched hands. It's murder. A fine victim for a sacrifice. You strike him down for the gods and then invite all of Thebes and me to the feast? Oh, I breed more for your disaster than for mine. The god had a right to destroy us, this Lord of Thunder, but he went too far considering he was born in our family.
Oh, you're hard to please. That's old age for you. Always puts a scowl in a man's eye. I wish my son would follow my example and be a lucky hunter whenever he goes after game with the boys from Thebes. But all he can do is wage war on gods. He needs you to give him a little piece of your mind. Father, who will call him into my sight so he can see my good fortune?
When you know what you've done, you will know the most horrible, terrible agony of pain. But if you stay in the state you're in forever, you will be unlucky to the end and never have the faintest idea.
What do you mean? It's not beautiful? It's painful?
First, let your eyes look up the sky. Up there.
I'm looking. Why do you suggest I look at this?
Is it the same, or did you think it changed?
It's brighter than before. A new glow comes through it.
And that fluttering sensation, do you still have it in your soul?
I don't know what you mean. I'm somehow coming back into my mind. I'm moving away from old thoughts.
Can you listen now and answer clearly?
I've forgotten what we were saying, Father.
When you were married, what house did you go to?
You gave me to Acheon, a soundman, so they say.
And who is that son born at home to your husband?
Pentheus, from my marriage with his father.
Tell me now, whose face do you have in your arms?
Well, a lion's, at least that's what they said, the hunters.
Look straight this time. It won't take you long to see.
What am I looking at? What am I carrying in my arms?
Look carefully and you will learn the answer clearly.
I see horrible pain. I am so miserable.
You don't think it looks like a lion anymore?
No, I have Pentheus's head.
We mourned him before you even knew who he was.
Who killed him? How did he come into my hands?
Truth is horrible. It always comes at the wrong time.
Tell me, what will it be? My heart is pounding.
You killed him. You and your sisters.
Where did he die? At home? What kind of place?
The place where, before this, the dogs tore Actaeon apart.
But why did he come to Kytheron? Were the gods against him?
He went to jeer at the god and at your Bacchic dances too.
What about us? How did we land up there?
You were mad. The whole city had gone into a Bacchic frenzy.
Dionysus destroyed us. Now I understand.
He was insulted outrageously when you did not believe he was a god.
And my son's body, that I loved so much, where is it, Father?
I brought it here. After a long search, it was hard to find.
Has he been fitted together decently?
No.
And Pentheus, did he have any part in this mindless folly?
He did turn out like you, with no reference for the god, and so he tied everyone together in one injury to the god. You, woman, himself. As a result, he ruined my house and me. You know I have no male children, and now I must see this offshoot of your womb, poor woman, dying the worst death possible, most shameful. In you, child, our home found its eyes. You held the family together as the son of my daughter, and you were a terror to the city. No one wished to insult the old man once he saw your face, because you made them pay a fair penalty. Now I lose my rights. I'll have to be cast out of my home. Cadmus the Great, who showed the race of Phoebus and brought a splendid crop to harvest. Oh, dearest of men, even though you are no more, I count on you, child. Among the friends I love, never again will you caress my beard, embrace me, call me mother's father. Ask, has anyone done you wrong, old man? Dishonored you, disturbed you, caused you pain? Tell me, and I'll punish them for the wrongs, for the man who wronged you, father. Now I am miserable, and you are wretched. Your mother's a pitfall, and her sisters are wretched too. If there's anyone who despises the divine, he should look at this man's death and believe in the gods.
I feel for you, Cadmus. That grandson of yours deserved his punishment, painful as it is for you.
My life's turned upside down, Father, as you see.
Cadmus will be transformed into a serpent. Your wife will turn into a wild animal, change to the form of a snake. Harmonia, daughter of Ares, whom you took as wife, though you were mortal. Oracle of Zeus says that you will drive an ox cart. You and your wife, at the head of a troop of foreigners, you will take and sack many cities with an enormous army. But when they plunder the shrine and oracle of Apollo, they will cause themselves to have a miserable return journey. You and Harmonia, however, will be rescued by Ares, and he will settle you to live in the land of the blessed. I pronounce this fate as Dionysus, born of no mortal father, for I am the son of Zeus. If you had known how to keep your mind sound, which you did not wish to do, you would have had good fortune, and the son of Zeus would have been your ally.
Dionysus, hear our prayer. We have done wrong.
You learned too late. You should have known us. You did not.
We know that now, but you are too severe in prosecuting us.
I am a god. You committed an outrage against me.
Anger does not become a god. You should not be like a human being.
Zeus, my father, agreed to all this long ago.
It is a decree, then. Old man, we are banished. How miserable.
Why put it off? It will be by necessity.
My child, what a miserable face. What a terrible misery we all face. You, your sisters, and me. I will arrive as a stranger in a foreign land. Me, an old man. Worse than that, the god has fated me to lead a ragtag army of foreigners against Greece. I and my wife, Harmonia, daughter of Ares, will come in the form of wild serpents at the head of the troop spearmen against the tombs and altars of Greece, and I will have no relief from evil and misery. No voyage down to Octaron will be at peace now.
Oh, Father, I'll be bereft of you in my exile.
Why are you wrapping your arms around me like a swan with its white hair, useless parent?
But where can I turn? I'm an outcast from my country.
I do not know, child. I'm not much help.
Farewell, my house. Farewell, my native land. I am leaving you now. So unlucky. And my marriage undone. In exile.
My child, you should go where Aristarchus.
I weep for you, father.
And I for you too, my child, and for your sisters.
It is terrible how Lord Dionysus brought this calamity on your house.
Because it is terrible what you did to him. He had no honor to his name in Thebes.
Farewell, father.
Farewell, sad daughter. Though that will be hard where you are going.
Friends, take me where I can find my sisters. So we may be exiles together. I'd like to go far away from the curse of Kytheron, where I can't see Kytheron, where there's no display of Osiris to remind me. Leave that to other worshippers of Bacchus.
Many are the shapes the gods will take, many the surprises they perform. What was thought likely did not transpire, what was unlikely the god made easy. That is how this matter ended.
As you can see, there is a fate for those who do not honor the gods. But you all have joined us, and we thank you for joining us to honor Dionysus. And we also want to thank...
Are we doing bows?
Yes, we're going to do bows. So I'm going to come out. I also want to thank our amazing actors.
I guess Victoria's not.
Victoria is muted, so I'm gonna say go ahead and take bows because y'all.
Yeah, I was about to introduce you guys. All right, if everyone wants to line up, actually, why don't you guys line up and I'll have you guys say your characters. Okay, why don't we start from Pentheus, right?
I am starry-eyed, also Amber. I played as the stand-in for Pentheus, and I was Messenger 1.
And Pentheus, you want to say hi?
I'm gonna say hi by voice.
Oh, fuck. Terribly sorry.
Go ahead.
Yes, what's that mean? Yes, hello.
You probably want to step forward in Minecraft.
Sure thing. I'm Creasor. I played Theresias and Messenger 2, or the second messenger. Yeah.
I am Nathan. I played the soldier and Cadmus.
And you designed the costumes with Cry.
Oh,
who's next
yeah. Yeah, we both
Yes.
designed costumes.
My turn. Oh, hi. I'm basically angelic, also known as Nephilim or Helianthus Scripted, and I played Dionysus.
Forrest, on here, HP Ziggy, and I played Agave. Thank you. Praise Bacchus.
And I'm Melissa. My Discord handle is Affectionate Kitten, and I played the chorus.